Hey guys, and welcome. Wait, I did that with the energy of True Green 7 intro.
Welcome to the Pokemon video. Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome to the Calm Mind Podcast, episode 30. That's the correct energy.
We hope you're all engaging with the universe today, and you're in a calm place. Or we hope that you were before Ron jolted you out of it.
This is a special episode. We're not going to do anything because of it, but we're just going to say it's special, and then going to continue.
It's the big 3-0. You know, this is for many podcasts the midlife crisis, where they think, oh no, I've chosen my lot in life and I'm unable to change. But this podcast is able to change, because this is the possibly last pre-recorded episode before we move on to just live shows, right?
Yep. So next week we're not recording because Scarlet and Violet are coming out. But honestly, it's the most complicated schedule that we came up with. I'm trying to think of it, and it's going to take a long time.
I think it's like next week we're not recording, nor are we... But there will be an episode out, which was the last episode that we recorded. Then this episode will be coming out the following week alongside us recording an episode live, I think.
I don't know. I literally did not listen to you.
That's fair. That's how these podcasts go.
We're actually recording this way later than usual. I mean, it's like, what is it, 1 o'clock at your time, Toby?
It's midnight my time. It's nearly midnight. It's past my bedtime.
Wait, so then how does that make sense? Wait. Then so it's daylight savings happened for you. It happened for me too.
Yeah.
So why are we not back to 5 hours?
It's now 11:53 where I am. This is of zero consequence to the people listening. They are already so zoned out of this discussion.
I mean, this proves how late we're recording this. I cannot do math at this hour.
That's okay. You don't need to do math. You just need to do a podcast, a show. It's going to be, I think, a slightly shorter episode today, so you can go and get that food. But also, to those of you who are listening, it doesn't matter if we're recording at 11:53 UK time or 5 hours behind that in the US time, because you're listening to this in the future time where you've already played Scarlet and Violet, I'm assuming. We, as of recording this, still haven't, because it's not out yet. It doesn't exist yet for us.
Yeah, and that's why we are recording so late, because we're so busy with this coming week and a half preparing for Scarlet and Violet. Toby wanted to get this podcast out of the way.
I threw a tantrum. I said, Ron, can we please just get this podcast done? Just get this done so that I can move on with my other plans. And the thing is, there's nothing particularly... I'm saying that there's nothing unusually stressful about this launch as opposed to other game launches.
I guess.
It's just like... I like having a level of control as to what's happening, and if there's a task that can be done, I want it out of the way. Do you know what I mean?
I procrastinate a lot, but I wish my plans could be done in an orderly fashion.
I think I have a habit of making plans that are very like organized and very like meticulous, especially around the launches of games where it's like I know exactly how I want everything to go, and I feel like maybe that's not unusual, but like definitely every YouTuber doesn't do it like that. Like I know for some people, the fact that the game is coming out, even though they're a PokeTuber, is pretty inconsequential. They're like, oh yeah, I'll do a video about Scarlet and Violet sometime. And I'm like, a video? You know, I think I'm going to do like 30.
It's funny because it's like the opposite for me. So during the normal year, I plan my videos literally months ahead. I have like literally the next 10 videos scheduled, right? And that's a normal thing. That's not just because of Scarlet and Violet, okay?
Right.
But during the Scarlet and Violet, or just any release of any Pokemon game, I'm actually the most flexible during that time. Because I don't know what videos I can release during those times. Because it's not like it's gameplay videos or videos about general stuff. It's like usually a review, for example. So I know I'm going to release a review. But then after that, that's it. There's no Scarlet and Violet video other than... unless I play the game and find something awesome.
That's interesting. So have past game launches gone well for you, like for the channel?
Indirectly, yes, but not because I actually released videos that were amazing and related to the new games. It's just like because people are watching a lot of Pokemon content during that time.
Right.
Indirectly, my videos also.
Do you not find the pressure to like capitalize on that moment that happens?
Oh yeah, I have the pressure, but I just never do it because again, my content is all my videos I release. I create a month before I release them.
Sure.
I can't like come up with the idea, script it, record it, edit it all in 1 week. like all you guys do for some reason. Also because I guess I'm the only one who works on the channel, so I can't pass it on to an editor.
No, that's true.
Anything
that's
else,
fair. Working out like which topics, because like for me, like obviously, like you're going to do a review because you've done a review before, and like that, for me, every time a new game's coming up, I like look back at like, Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, even, and like what went well, which topics did well, and which ones did I do year on year, because then that becomes part of the almost like tradition of the channel, is to revisit those topics, and then they're usually quite easy topics. Like, for example, the team I expect to use is a relatively small video that I can do. It's super straightforward. It doesn't require me to have any game knowledge other than just what I've seen in the trailers. So like that to me is just like a really easy video that I can like, I've had that done and finished for about sort of 2 weeks now, and that's just ready to go live the week of launch, so that there's something there to fill in that time while I play.
For other PokeTubers, including yourself, you guys can make content like from like a small thing like that,
Yeah.
like an entire video based on your team for Scarlet and Violet. I don't know, like I'm assuming it's gonna be entertaining, but I don't know how I would do that. How I would make like a 10-minute video on that.
Sure.
So, like how would I? Tell me how I could make a True Green 7 video from just my team for Scarlet and Violet.
How would True Green 7 do a team for Scarlet and Violet? Well, I think you would like talk about the Pokemon that have been revealed, and as well as like pre-existing Pokemon, and you would talk about not only their inspirations and why you love them so much, but I think also you would talk about, I can imagine you talking about like why past Pokemon returning, which ones are so perfect for this region, and like why you would choose them. And I could see you basically just throwing a lot of love onto maybe like a dozen Pokemon and then choosing like the top 6, that you would want to make a team out of.
By the way, we don't know like a majority of the Pokemon that are in this region, so I don't know how I don't know how you're even doing that.
That video survives for about a week, and then it stops getting views.
That's the number one difference between our channels. Also, that 95% of my content I try to make sure has longevity, that you can watch it any year. So that's why I don't release things that could just are obsolete after a week.
Why are you avoiding the word evergreen? It's evergreen, Ron.
I'm not avoiding. I'm just not smart.
It's evergreen content. For goodness sake, get your branding on point.
Ooh, that would be nice. How do I?
That's what he did. That's what True Green 7
That's like the tagline of True Green 7 now.
Yeah, evergreen content. And it's just like year round. It doesn't matter. It's part of your philosophy. It doesn't matter. Like no video should go out of date. Because I have like some videos that are like that. And to be honest, like I think channels that are more successful tend to have more videos like that, because they literally can be watched all year round. But like for me, like there's a good percentage of my videos, especially in a launch year, which has been every year since Let's Go, or since Sun and Moon, where that like. Okay, these are designed to live for a week and then to never get watched again, which is an interesting way of making videos for sure. But I'm
clowning on your team idea, but I am releasing a team video in December. But
my guy!
But that's after the game is released, and also it's all the teams that I had for the last like 3 years. Like the beginning of every generation, I talk about all the teams I've had, any playthrough that I had over the last like 3 years.
I did something similar in 2019, and like people really love those videos.
Yeah.
Has this been a particularly, because you don't play Pokemon quite as much as your average, I guess, PokeTuber. Has this generation, have you played a lot? Like
played the same amount as the previous generation, maybe slightly more because we got. So that's why
we definitely had more.
We had more, and that's just the reason. Like, and also because now I'm, the last generation. Generation 7, half of that I was in college, so I didn't have time to just, play a lot.
Play games. Yeah,
now
sure, that makes sense.
Play as a hobby instead of doing YouTube as a hobby, because now YouTube is my career.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll also do the post-game what my team actually was video, and that's just double dipping. That's like just double dipping into the same tag words.
I was considering doing like a team for my DLC and like all that, but that would be a lie because I didn't do a different team. Like for these team videos, it's so easy to like, or it's so hard to not lie. Like
what do you mean?
like to come up with an extra team or like come up with a Pokemon just to spice it up. Like you can easily do that, and it's tempting, but I obviously I didn't do that, but it's so easy to just lie about your team and just to make the video more entertaining.
I'll be honest, I haven't been met with this conundrum.
Really? Because maybe you have interesting teams and also play a lot. So like because I don't play enough, I'm like, okay, maybe I should add an extra team because this could be a short video.
No. The way I see it is that, like, if I've played through a Pokemon game and I've got these 6 Pokemon, like, these 6 Pokemon are the creative limitation of the video. And so, like, if I could just make up new teams, it would sort of, what would be the point of making the video? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how choosing a different Pokemon would make it, like, more
interesting. Or the money.
But, like, how would that make it more interesting?
It's longer.
So you're just there like, okay, so I used like a Litten, and then I used I
can come up with a funny story
Charger
about,
Bug, and then you get to the end of your 6, and then you're like, and I also used an Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, but that's all right. Yeah, you just keep going and do the whole thing, and then you're just like, SEO boys.
Yeah. Well, I have a pseudo problem where this is not lying, but like in the video I present the Pokemon in an order, right?
Okay.
And I think the order is correct. So I'm saying, oh, I caught this, and then a little line down the road I caught this, but that's just my memory. I could be totally wrong, and then people are gonna call me out in the comment section and be like, you can't catch this Pokemon before you can catch this Pokemon. That's just my memory.
I would love to have commenters who are that engaged. That is not a problem to have.
This is actually a topic I did want to talk about.
Okay.
This is a thing that irks me so much. It's one of those like things that people do online or just in general that I cannot fathom. You've done it, all your friends have done it, but it's a thing that I don't do, which is like mock or like try to mimic a group of people, like using a specific voice. For example, like when you're when you're talking about like people online or comments that you're anticipating, like I've seen a lot of YouTubers be like, oh, I know what you're going to say in the comment section. Oh, but this is a thing, then you shouldn't be doing this. And they make like a voice.
Actually,
exactly.
Liam. Yeah,
like,
okay.
No, I'm literally thinking of Liam, by the way, because he does it a lot too. But like, actually, and sometimes they even do a voice changer. Like Liam used to do a voice changer. Like, yeah. And a lot of times it's even more annoying when it's like a thing that 100% nobody in the comment section is talking about, and these people are just making an annoying like caricature of a comment that doesn't exist. Like, I just don't. I hate it. It's so annoying, and I hate when people do it.
Why is it annoying? Why is it annoying? Because for me, the actually character in those videos that Liam does, I really enjoy that character. Like, I hate it. I don't attribute it to an actual commenter. They're like a fabricated commenter.
Because I hate when people exaggerate a voice for comedic effect. If people like in real life, when people do that,
I got bad news for you.
It's a very common thing.
Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeepertoby here.
No,
Groudon, Kyogre.
No, I'm okay with imitation and like trying to what's it called? When you do a
parody?
Voice?
Parody? Is that what you're looking for?
Like a voice actor will impersonate another voice actor, for example. Obviously, I'm not. Yeah. I like that. I'm not annoyed by that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when someone's mocking of a person and exaggerating their voice in order to mock them. That's what I hate.
Sure.
And I hate when people do that to me, and I don't do it to other people.
I guess when Liam's doing that in his videos, he's not actually trying to mock anyone. He's making a character up.
I get it if it's like by now it's a character, like, oh, that's just another character.
Sure.
But if it's like, but no, a lot of people just legitimately do that, and it's not a character. It's just like they do.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They do like a disclaimer, and then they do the disclaimer in like another voice, mocking the audience. It's just annoying. Like, I hate it. But But who cares? That's just my opinion. What could be an actual conversation is I've noticed that every country has a different voice that they mimic.
What?
Whenever they're trying to imitate a stupid person.
What? Like so we'll do the voice, and someone else will do another country will do. Well,
that's a nerd. That's not a stupid person. That's like you mimicking a pedantic.
So it's like a stupid person. Like I'm doing this that kind of thing.
That's a universal one. Like the low voice. But for example, British people will imitate the North. Will like do like a northern, like a very exaggerated northern accent, and like an American person will do a very exaggerated Southern accent?
I don't know about the Northern accent thing.
I've seen it so many times, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I know about that trope in terms of like the US and doing the whole like kind of deep South Texan kind of.
So every single like Japan has their every single country has their like country bumpkin, quote unquote.
Right.
Of course, people from the South or from the the what's it called rural areas are not stupid. It's just always a stereotype of people that aren't from the city is just
equally
less educated.
Stupid. Equally, everyone's equally stupid.
Yes,
stupidity is universal. it's across the board.
But you didn't notice that. I mean, I'm sure that. No,
I guess
general,
now you're pointing
it's a stereotype.
Now you're pointing it out. Like, yeah, I guess it's there. Yeah, I can't say it bothers me. A northern accent. Hang on. Yeah, I guess that's like a northern accent. I suppose a little bit.
That's very subtle.
North. The north. How do you say north in northern? I don't know. From the north, I guess.
Okay.
Is that what...
What's funny is that you're making... Yeah, I get that people will go lower when they're doing that. Like, they'll do, like, a lower, like, more...
You can give me a northern accent.
I'm not going to do that. But, okay, maybe the Pokemon that we generate will...
No, try one more. Let's go again.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Be stupid.
Maybe the Pokemon we generate is gonna be slow. No, never mind. Sorry. Maybe the Pokemon we generate is gonna be a bit stupid. Oh, okay.
Right.
So you want to cash in our reroll once per 10 episodes?
Do I want to cash in one of our? Do I want to cash in one of our rerolls?
It's just it's not that interesting. I mean,
I feel like we've got 2 like in the bank. Like, yeah, let's reroll.
Okay, so it was Cacnea.
Let's do a reroll. Episode 30, baby. We're gonna go for a big one.
Okay, now this is good in the thumbnail. Not gonna lie.
This
is good clickbait. We got Salazzle.
Is that good in a thumbnail?
It's got curves.
Oh, that's a horrible reason to be good in a thumbnail.
That's the number one reason to be in a thumbnail.
When you were like, oh, this will be good in the thumbnail, I'm like, oh, awesome. We've rolled Mewtwo. We've got Darkrai. We've got Lucario or something.
Salazzle's popular.
Like, Salazzle.
Salazzle's very popular.
Is it?
It's one of the few Pokemon that's explicitly like sexual and like supposed to look like sexy that people don't hate. For example, like people are like, it's fine, I get it. It's supposed to be like that.
I guess, yeah.
It works.
I guess. I just this is not a sexist thing. I just prefer Salandit. I want it to be clear up front.
Sexist.
I think it's very sexist. I just like Salandit more, and I really wish there was like an alternative. I get that the whole
I love Salandit.
The theming of it is that it's part of this harem with this kind of monarchy, right? Situation,
yeah.
Right? But I like this design of Salandit so much more than Salazzle.
I think I love Salandit more than Salazzle, but like Salazzle is just it's like a top tier Pokemon for me too. I like the entire family. Salandit, yeah, I love the personality. I love it's scurrying around in any media that it's in. I love Salandit.
It's kind of like mischievous thing going on. It's like definitely almost like designed for Team Skull as well. Like I feel like very much it's a Team Skull Pokemon.
But let's talk about Salazzle though.
I guess I really don't have much to say about Salazzle. I don't really like its design. I don't know. It's just kind of a. I really genuinely don't like its design.
I love its color scheme. Like black, gray with like purple and pink.
Purple accent.
Beautiful.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not particularly fussed on it. I think trying to make a Pokemon look sexy, even if it's got like a good reason for it, is like it's just not what I go into Pokemon for.
I get it because some of my least favorite Pokemon are those that they tried to make sexy but didn't like it wasn't successful, like Aromatisse, like Serena a bit.
So, out of curiosity, Ron, for the audience listening, which Pokemon do you think they were successful in making look really sexy? This is for the audience's benefit.
I'll say it. Like
go
Lopunny.
on, you
is
coward.
Very attractive.
Whoa. Okay.
It just works. Like it makes like the concept that they were trying to convey was successful.
I agree. I just don't like the concept. Then I guess because like I don't need Pokemon to look. I don't want Pokemon to look sexy. I see. But the thing is, like, I don't look at Lopunny and think, "Ooh, sexy." I just think rabbit Pokemon. Like, I get what the design is supposed to be, but I just think like, oh, it's just a rabbit Pokemon. Like, it's whatever. Whereas Salazzle, you're right, it's got a lot of curves, and it's just kind of like, what are you doing? Stop. I mean, I guess you can be curvaceous if you want. I go into Pokemon because I think Pokemon are cool, or I think Pokemon are maybe cute.
Yeah, Salazzle's like sleek and cool. Like, I like that it's cool regardless of the sexiness. Like, it's just like a stretched out Salandit, which is already cool, really.
Yeah.
If it was just Curvy, I would not enjoy this Pokemon.
That was the funniest thing you've said on a podcast
depth
ever.
In my Pokemon.
That's like the best thing you've ever said on this. I tell you what, I feel like this show is really reflective of the fact that we're recording so very late, but also
I have these thoughts all the time.
Yeah, oh, fair enough. I was trying to give you an out, but yeah.
Dude, that's your problem. This is the problem. There is no. I don't need to be out. Wait.
You don't need an out. Okay, all right. I
am not ashamed by this. Are you ashamed about what you are attracted to, Toby?
But I'm not attracted. I want to be clear.
Wait, by the way,
I'm not
attracted to Salazzle. Okay. I'm attracted to Lopunny.
Whoa!
Like, Salazzle is just. I think they successfully conveyed the message. Lopunny, I think that's the only successfully attractive Pokemon.
Oh, you're being serious?
This is not a joke.
Okay. It's a rabbit.
Have you ever been to have you ever not just drawn an hourglass? No. Okay, this is interesting because this is I'm actually interested in knowing. I thought this was just the universal heterosexual man experience, but
okay,
you've never just you can draw, but have you ever just drawn literally just draw an hourglass?
I will draw an hourglass right now. I'm gonna get a pen. I'm gonna get some paper. And I'm gonna here we go. I'm drawing an hourglass. Oh. You
get it now. You get it.
Okay.
You know the neuron activated meme?
I don't actually.
Oh, okay, because that's okay. It's literally just a monkey.
Okay.
Who's just asleep. And then the next panel, it's the monkey's neurons are activated, he's awake, because he saw literally just a drawing of a hip, of a female hip.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's a big meme, okay? And it's like that, where it's you just draw an hourglass figure, and it's all of a sudden your brain is hardwired to notice that and be wait, that's.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that I have never seen random objects and shape, and my mind has gone wild.
Okay, so that was just a random literal object that isn't even close to
in the case of a Pokemon, it has not happened. Just to be clear, so we're on the same page. But if it's happened for you, that's great. You shouldn't be ashamed. I'm proud of you, man. Just I guess.
But honestly, the number one thing that I'm thinking about when I'm looking at Salazzle right now is just the fact that, at least at this point, you guys probably already know all the Generation 9 Pokemon by now. Actually, no, wait. This is being released. Oh, yeah. You guys know.
This being released after
you guys already finished the game. I'm kidding. Half of you guys are probably only a few gyms in. But the fact that we still don't know any real evolved forms, badass or cool looking Pokemon from Generation 9. We have none of them. I don't know
or
any
sexy
of them.
Pokemon. We haven't seen the sexy Pokemon yet. Do we have any sexy Pokemon this generation? I think the last thing we saw was Gimmighoul, but that's not super sexy.
Nothing sexier than money.
Nothing sexier than a Lechonk. Now there's some curves. Yeah. No, I know we haven't seen much at all this reveal cycle, and I feel as we're recording this, there is I think one more trailer that's gonna maybe happen. I'm not expecting more than that, but we've really not seen much at all. We've not seen. Do you want to see any of the starter evolution stuff? Or
I'm going.
like that?
If they are leaked, I will hunt. I will see the starters. Not this time. I won't look at all the other Pokemon like I did for Sword and Shield. But yeah, just the starters. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to end up seeing everything, unfortunately, because I think we spoke about it on the podcast last week, but like it just kind of comes with the territory for me, and being very active on social media is that like I'm just going to end up seeing everything, and I've seen a lot of what's kind of coming so far. But yeah, to be honest, I like doing that because I like thinking about the Pokemon before I get to pick them up anyway. A little bit, but to be fair, I did get the experience with Legends Arceus of discovering Pokemon for the first time in game, and that was pretty cool. I'd like to get that again.
Wait, what? In Legend Arceus?
Yeah, because I hadn't seen like a
didn't
Sneasler before, or I hadn't seen like a Saluna before playing the game.
Unfortunately,
or any of the Hisuian starter evolutions. I hadn't seen any of them, so I was like.
And again, are you really streaming Scarlet and Violet? Have you decided?
I think I'm streaming like the first 6 hours, which is so weird because when I'm saying this, like that will have been 2 weeks ago.
That's annoying, but you are going to see all the Pokemon prior, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So there won't be any like you don't want to come to me for reactions or anything.
I'm a huge reaction fan, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch everybody's reaction to a lot of these games. Or at least the people that I know are going to react to, let's say, the music or characters and stuff like that. Some people just literally don't care about those things, and are just going to react to the battles. But I know that some of these YouTubers are already going to look at the leaks, so they're not going to really react to the Pokemon.
I've got a pretty good idea of who's like legit not seen anything. Like I know there are some YouTubers, like Game Boy Luke, for example, is absolutely not watching or looking at anything,
and he's really good because he actually reacts to music, so.
Yeah. And he's like a great reactor anyway, so like he does that stuff really, really well. So yeah, he's like someone that you can watch and know for sure that he's not seen anything.
Yeah. Like Numb Nexus, for example, he reacts. He is like the most bombastic reactor and definitely reacts to the music out of more than any other YouTuber. But he, I think, does look at leaks, so it's so he'll sometimes not really react to the Pokemon.
Are you streaming? Are you streaming any of the game?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You decided no?
Yeah, I decided 7 weeks ago already. You know what's annoying? I thought several for at least half of my adult life. I thought the word several meant literal like 7.
Yeah, I get why you'd think that.
But how come everybody else didn't think that? And
I'm guessing several is like several's like
it's like
3
a
or
lot.
4.
It's like a bunch, like a
bunch.
Between
several is
3
mathematically
and 12.
equivalent to a bunch. Yeah, less than a dozen, more than a couple.
Yeah.
Several.
But that's dumb. Why?
I don't know, because it sounds like civ. It's got the civ.
But what's funny is that what's the average of 3 and 12? Let me just around 7.
Yeah, I guess somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's 7.5. So
a few.
So it makes sense. Like we have
some.
I'm just annoyed that it doesn't mean 7.
No, I get you. I feel that. I remember being a kid, and this is such a like non-story for anyone listening. I remember being a kid and learning that a couple meant 2, and I was like, I just assumed it meant the same as several, but I don't think I knew what several meant.
Oh wait,
well, no, but I was a kid. I didn't know what it meant.
Wait, doesn't a couple also mean several? No, you're right.
No,
if I just say a couple of apples, doesn't mean 2 apples.
Oh, I suppose there might be 2 different uses of the word couple there. Because you've got a couple as in a couple of... Oh, because like as a couple is when you 2 things together, but then a couple of people could be more than 2 people, I think. Am I talking out my butt? Is it just that late?
Just in case we want to put in the thumb... Oh, no, we wanted to put Salazzle in the thumbnail. But just in case we want to put a new Gen 9 Pokemon in the thumbnail, and tomorrow the new trailer's coming out, and they could be revealing all those Pokemon that were leaked, quote-unquote leaked on screen, like the Pokemon that left in the English trailers. So one of them was the couple mouse, the couple mice.
Yes, that would be nice.
So
it would be nice.
Segue into those. I've
googled I've Googled. Couple is now understood primarily to refer to two when it is used as a bare noun. They make a nice couple. But it's often used to refer to a small indeterminate of two or more when used in the phrase, a couple of. I had a couple of cups of coffee, and now I can't sleep. So there you go. It's both.
But then why does several mean the same as couple?
I guess, but you wouldn't be like, oh, they're a nice several.
And then there's a bunch.
Those two.
But a bunch could be anywhere from like 5 to like 30.
A bunch, yeah, a whole bunch. But a few, I guess a few and a bunch are relative. I feel they're relative to like the larger amount.
Yeah, a bunch of apples could be 5.
If you have thousands of apples, then 100 is like a couple. It's like a few. It's like a bunch. But like,
nah, I think a couple is less than a tenth. So 100 would be more than a couple.
Okay. Where if like, it's 10,000 apples, is 100 apples a couple of apples? I guess to the apple. To the Apple King. This is what you get if we're going to record a podcast at this hour.
You wanted to do this.
I did want to do this. I'll be honest. I needed this because I need to unwind. I've been so stressed out. I get stressed about being stressed. And when it comes to these new games, I'm just like sitting here just waiting for, I don't know what, like just work to, and then I can start working on stuff. I just sit here getting stressed about being stressed, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, this is the level of podcast quality we get. Apples in the hundreds of thousands.
This is what a new game does to a PokeTuber.
It's a few. It does. We literally break and crack like a couple eggs. They usually come by the dozen, I suppose.
Like, for example, a couple of ants.
Yeah.
That's still more ants than you need.
Well, yeah, that any amount of ants is more ants than you need.
But honestly, remember the ants that I had in my room that I talked about in literally the first few episodes of the podcast? That was actually a blessing. You want to know why?
Why?
So, if you don't know, if you hadn't watched the first few episodes of the podcast, a couple, like in the spring, so around April, I had like an ant infestation for some reason, but situated literally just in 1/3 of my room. They would not pass 1/3 of my room, mostly because I laid a bunch of bug spray, and once they touched the ground, they touched the ground, they would die. But that means after like a few weeks of having this bugs, I realized that means that they're coming from not the ground. So there's no hole. That means they're not coming from a hole in the ground. They're coming from a hole above ground. I slowly realized they're coming from the window. That the window, the molding around the window was not sealed properly. Okay, so then I added caulk.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Or no, I actually added silicone. That was just a joke. I added silicone to seal up those holes. Exactly, some silicone caulk added to the molding to seal it. After that, literally no problem, forever and ever. That's a Hebrew superstitious saying. Whatever. But now, why was that a blessing that they came? But because of these ants seeping through the wall, through the moldings, I sealed up these moldings, and now they're perfectly sealed. I realized literally a couple of weeks ago that I have double-sided like glass. This window that these ants came from, so like there's a hole between these two panels of glass. Like there's like space between this glass. So if a bug can come through the window from the outside, they can enter the space between the two panels of glass, but they can't come into the room because I sealed it. So that's a good thing. The last 2 weeks, I've basically, you know what an ant farm is?
Yeah. Is this what you're going to say? You've made an ant farm in your window?
I've made a spider farm in my window.
What? But you don't like spiders.
But thank God I sealed the window. If I didn't have this ant infestation, the spiders would have been able to fully come through to my room.
So what you're now seeing inside your window is the net result of the spiders that would have come into your room over the course of like X amount of time.
Yes, there was a couple of spiders, then they had babies. Now there's literally 100 spiders like between the two panels of glass in my window, but they cannot enter the house. Thank God, because I sealed it because I had an ant infestation a few months ago. It's the stupidest thing ever because now I have to look at these spiders, but at least I can look at them in like a nice without knowing they're not going to touch me.
I guess I feel like I just feel like you need more silicone. you're gonna be ready to like fill up any holes.
The question is, can spiders eat silicone?
I doubt they'll try and eat it.
Good.
I assume. I don't know. I'm not.
Because I mean, they haven't come. I haven't seen one yet. But there's literally 100 of them, literally touching my room.
That's gotta. I feel like, and I'm not even scared of spiders. I feel like that's gonna be horrible for you.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Are you, are you okay?
But I'm feeling #blessed because of the ants.
Well,
thank God it was ants. It could have been spiders. If the ants weren't like...
If the Bug King had sent the spiders first, you'd be messed up.
Yes, imagine the spiders came first.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been the worst.
And then you would have sealed them in. Because you would have sealed out the ones, the ants, I guess. I don't know.
I would have sealed it. No, that's not how it works, but yes.
That's not how that works.
Although I would have wanted an ant farm instead of a spider farm.
Yeah, I was going to say, the idea of having an ant farm in your window sounded kind of cool. The idea that you've got a bunch of spiders multiplying in the wall sounds awful.
It is.
That doesn't sound
I just
good.
realized that the reason they're there is because now because I added silicone, ants couldn't get in, but now they were trapped between the window. So the spiders found these ants, and they're like, wow, this is a pretty cool spot. I have a nice home.
Like free food.
I'm going to settle here. And then these ants multiplied. But now they're dying. There's a lot of dead ants. There's a lot of dead spiders between this window now.
Oh.
Hopefully...
A different insect's going to move in to like deal with that, and then you're going to have
spider?
like it's just a rotating real estate until eventually it moves up. It's going to move up the food chain until eventually it's like birds.
There's a tiger in my window.
It's like in your window, stuck between the two panes of glass.
Literally a half an inch.
I'm going to come over to visit. There's going to be like a great white, it's like wedged between. You got like a little fish, like a little aquarium in there, and you're gonna have to seal up the other side so that the water stays inside the pane of glass. It's like the tiniest great white shark.
That would be actually pretty neat. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I kind of would. I would get a dozen great whites.
Would you prefer tiny like sharks the size of spiders over spiders? You as a person who's arachnophobic?
Would I prefer sharks? I want to say yes because I feel like that's a novelty, though. But that's the thing.
No,
like if it was
every day, and they're also they can make webs.
Wait, the sharks can make the webs?
Yeah, so they are able to settle in your house. It's not like they're just like how else. Like if they were just flopping around, you could kill them. It's easy. But like, oh wait, they don't have legs because that would make them spiders. That would just make them spiders. Imagine tiny sharks with spider legs. That would be worse than a spider, yes.
I'm really unsure about the premise of this. But let's say you could have little, tiny, I guess, insect-sized tigers. Would you want that? I think you would. I think I'd want that any day of the week. I'd be really worried about stepping on one, though. I'd feel awful. That wouldn't make me happy. I wouldn't want to... I'd squish a spider. I wouldn't squish a tiny tiger.
Not gonna lie, I'd rather have a spider than a tiny tiger. No, because tiny tigers are intelligent and they'll just bite you. Like spiders, they're not going to bite you.
That's true. They don't want to, but a tiger might.
Yeah.
Might want to bite you.
But a shark, for example, you're not his food. They're going to be looking for tiny fish.
This is really the sign of
sleep.
We've done a good couple episodes, you know.
Every 10 episodes, we're allowed to phone it in.
But every episode 30, I think we've really should stop.
Have you ever written comedy with your friends like during a sleepover at like 3 a.m.?
It's the worst, yeah.
You
think it's the best thing. You think it's the best thing, and you wake up the next morning, it's awful.
Now in the age of like, phones and cameras, like, I mean, by the time I was a teenager, yeah, we had phones. Camera phone. We had iPhones, right? So we were filming our skits at 3 o'clock at night because we're like, wow, we just came up with the funniest thing. Let's film it. And then we literally we send it to everybody. We put it on Facebook, but we shouldn't because they were terrible.
Because that's the problem. Because back in the day, people would have the hindsight of like waking up in the next morning and going, "Oh, that was a terrible idea." Now you have a terrible idea, you just film it.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with a Birdkeepertoby video. Oh.
That's how you end up getting canceled. Why do I always have to make it uncomfortable?
Next episode will be live.
Yes. But by the time this comes out... No, this episode's coming out after we go live. But the next episode will be a VOD of the live episode that we recorded.
That's it.
The week before this episode comes out.
That's
oh, wait, no. When does this episode come out? I'm so confused.
I don't know if this episode will ever come out. Whether this will become Lost episode number 2, or whether this will become... what?
Because we're recording this way earlier. We forgot. Yeah. Okay, so this episode we're skipping. No, never mind. I'm so confused.
You can't be on an episode of the podcast and say, this episode we're recording right now, we're skipping. This episode doesn't get skipped. We're recording it.
But when does this episode come out? Because we are skipping an episode. We are not recording one of these weeks, which is next week. Why didn't we write this down? We had a whole 15-minute conversation off the podcast scheduling these episodes, and we didn't write them down. Are your neurons activated now, Toby?
I was literally about to reference that. I'm just looking at the picture of the monkey with his activated neurons thinking, none of mine are working. I wonder if we'll do several more of these.
Wait, what? I don't know what that's a reference to.
A bit earlier where we were saying several.
Oh.
Yes, that was 5 minutes ago.
But several is such a normal word. You can't just put it in and... Yeah, we're done.